Friends, you are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. I do apologise that I'm a few minutes late. I had the wrong stream key in in OBS, so that was totally on me. But we are live now and we are here, so I do apologise. That's totally my fault tonight. I was on time. I was talking. I looked down and realised I hadn't started the right stream. So my sincere apologies on that one for you guys. I don't like leaving you hanging. Sometimes it's tactical. Tonight, no, just a massive mistake. So look, the Copa Libertadores final is on in the background. I will be keeping you guys up to date with what is going on in that as well. Obviously, we have Andre playing for Fluminense, and we have Ezequiel Fernandez playing right now for Boca. With 30 minutes gone in the game, it's still scoreless in the Copa Libertadores, so I will, as I said, keep you up to date with that one. Right, how are we all doing? We good? What do we think? Mikel Arteta is throwing his toys out of the pram, and I've got to say, again, where was all the energy and support when Liverpool were getting shafted? Where, you know, people are rightly fuming about refereeing decisions, but Arteta has lost the plot now. He's absolutely gone in on one. He has said, if there was a team looking to win this game today, it was Arsenal. The outcome is nowhere near the level of this league needs to be. It's not good enough in the Premier League. I feel embarrassed to be part of it. Again, as I said, he has been throwing his toys out of the pram. There's more stuff coming from Arteta as well. He went on to say, this result should not be what it is. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing what happened. How this goal stands in the Premier League, this league we say is the best in the world. I've been 20 years in this country and now I feel ashamed. So what do we think? Do we have sympathies for Mikel Arteta, or is he just getting a little taste of what many of us have felt has been a dodgy refereeing and shambolic decision making? Today, I don't know what he's moaning about. Let me say, the goal stood because the ball was still in play. I don't know if you guys have seen this. beIN Sports have used their technology to show the ball never went out of play. So after the ball never went out of play, personally, I don't think anything after that's wrong. You know, they can talk about the offside, inconclusive according to VAR. The foul, I don't think it was a foul. So if the ball was in play, for me, that's a perfectly fine goal. That's my take on it. But, you know, once again, we have a contentious decision. So I'm interested to see how you guys feel about it tonight. Let's get a poll going. I know for the haters out there who say I have no content. Well, firstly, watch. This is going to be interesting. I've got lots of news tonight. We're going to be giving you a little insight in the latest Mohamed Salah situation. We're going to be talking about Andre. We're going to be talking about Mbappe. We're going to be talking about Lucho and lots of other bits and pieces. So, I'm going to ask simply, should the Newcastle goal have been, 3 E's there, Craig, on a little bit extra top, awarded? So we're going to ask you guys quite simply, should the Newcastle goal have been awarded, yes or no? And we'll get back to that poll a little bit later on in the stream. So look, first and foremost, that result benefits Liverpool. There's no denying that one. If we win against Luton Town tomorrow, that'll push us up into third place in the Premier League. Obviously Spurs still to play as well. I think it'll push us up in the second place, but if Spurs win, that will push us back down to third. And I'm here for it. That's the result I wanted for this game. I wanted Arsenal to drop points. Yeah. So, you know, the Liverpool fan in me is happy, but I still don't know how I feel about the goal. Honestly, I've gone back and forward on it. But if, after seeing that beIN Sports thing, if the ball was still in play, then I think it's a goal. I think there's nothing wrong with it after that. Arsenal are just not consistent away from home, said Dania. Imagine what he would have said if he managed Liverpool versus Spurs. So the first thing I said, right, when I seen the quotes from Mikel Arteta was, I messaged back Connor going, can you imagine if Klopp said that? Imagine if Klopp said what Arteta has said there. I'm going to take you back through both sets of those quotes again. So Arteta said, the result should not be what it is. Oh, goal Fluminense. Goal Fluminense in the Copa Libertadores. Sorry, I'll get back to this in a sec. Goal Fluminense. They have just taken the lead against Boca Juniors. I don't know the goal scorer yet. Bear with me, but it is 1-0 to Fluminense. Andre's in there amidst the celebrations. Marcelo's over high-fiving the subs bench and the coaches as well. But yes, we do have a breakthrough in the Copa Libertadores final. Fluminense of Brazil 1, Boca Juniors of Argentina 0. So look, if Klopp said this, I don't even want to think about how much of a ban he's getting. Arteta said the result should not be what it is. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing what happened. How this goal stands in the Premier League. This league, we say, is the best in the world. I've been in this country 20 years and now I feel ashamed. He also went on to say the outcome's nowhere near the level this league needs to have, and the way this league is getting competed in, it's not good enough for the Premier League. I feel embarrassed to be part of this. What are we saying? I mean, cry more. Yeah, I get it. I was it Ganzo with the goal? Was it Ganzo who scored for Fluminense? Or German Cano? So look, what are we saying? Tough shit? I mean, I do understand emotions are heightened in these situations, but I don't know. I've seen a lot worse than that. Let me just say that. I've seen a lot worse refereeing and decision making than that. I don't know if that's enough to have provoked. Did Arsenal really look to go and win that game? When they went behind, they pushed. Is he wrong though? I think he's wrong. I think once the ball stayed in play, and as I said, the beIN Sports technology showed it did. Once that ball stayed in play, for me, I think it's a perfectly fine goal. I don't think there was a foul. If they judge the offside inconclusive, then you stay with the on-pitch decision, and that's goal. So, yeah, that's my take. But look, it's another contentious decision, I guess. One shot on target for Arsenal. He's fuming about the red card and so on. It was never a red card. Let me say that. If anything, Havertz should have left. He should have been sent off for a second yellow. I think the fact that the referee played an advantage when Kai Havertz had fouled a Newcastle player probably played into Arsenal's favour, because he should have got a second yellow and been sent off. So I don't really have that much sympathy for Arteta on this, to be quite frank. Thiago won't be back until January. Yes, certainly looks like that's the case for Mr. Alcantara. But I'm not really surprised. I've been trying to say to you guys for a while, I think that's probably going to be the case. So look, let's get stuck into tonight's Liverpool news anyway. What do we want to talk about first? Do we want to speak about Salah or Mbappe? Tell me which one of those two you want me to start on, and I'll give you the news. I'm just going to watch to see what people comment. Salah. Right, we'll go with Salah. Grand, perfect. Let's start with Mohamed Salah. So, a report came out today to suggest that there's a verbal agreement in place between Mohamed Salah and the Saudi Pro League. I'm going to read you out a bit from an Echo article that said, Mohamed Salah, and then quotation marks, done deal. In what would be a complete contradiction to what Jurgen Klopp said in his press conference yesterday, Football Insider believe that there is a verbal agreement in place for Mohamed Salah to leave Liverpool for Saudi Arabia next summer. They write that the Reds will refuse to do business again in January, though the summer deal might be allowed to go ahead. Yesterday, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said there's been no new request for the player. So, I tried to dig a little bit deeper when I seen this earlier on, and I tried to reach out. And last night, I got a bit of an indication of how this might go. So, to the best of my knowledge, and to the best of anybody I know who has the finger on the pulse of all things Liverpool, there has been no indications of a contract extension being offered to Mo as of now. That's not to say I might know about it. That's not to say there mightn't be one forthcoming. But as I say here right now, I believe Salah leaves in the summer. I hope that we see a contract extension put in front of him. I think he deserves it, and I'd be more than happy to see him have one. But I don't believe we're going to see him that offer. And if we don't see that offer, the only logical and sensible thing to do is to sell him in the summer. You cannot allow Mo to leave for free. You can't. It would be stupidity. Yeah, we'd get another year of Mo as Liverpool fans, and that would be great. But nobody I'm aware of has had any indication or inclination that there is an extension being negotiated or about to be offered to him. So what else can we assume other than Liverpool will sell in the summer? Now, I don't know. I can't stand over what Football Insider say. I've got no idea of their source. I've got no idea of their level of knowledge on the situation. So I don't know if there's a verbal agreement in place between Mohamed Salah and Saudi. I don't. But I also don't know that Liverpool are going to try and give him a new deal. And that's the part of it that I'm most concerned about. Because that's the only part of it Liverpool can look to control. You either sell the player or extend them. And it's disappointing that we're not hearing of a contract extension. Because I don't think any of you guys watching now, no matter who you support, whether it's Liverpool or not, I don't think anybody thinks that Mohamed Salah is going to be done, finished in a year's time. Like, he has more years at the top level in him. He's a very young 31. So I'm a little bit saddened. But let me ask, is there anybody who thinks Liverpool should let Mo go for free? And by that I mean keep him for another season and then allow him go for free at the end of the 20-25 season. Or the 24-25 season, I should say. I'd try give him a new contract for us not to be worried about Saudi, said Dylan. He's a baller, but we need to cash in while he's good, said Rory. Craig, are you scared of Man City? No. No, not scared of any of these Premier League teams this year. I think Liverpool are as good as any of them. Who would replace them? I don't know the answer to that, Thomas. It's. I don't even like to use the word replace because nobody will replace Mo. It doesn't matter who we suggest. Nobody's going to do those numbers. So nobody wants him to leave for free. I agree with that. I'm 100% with you on that one. I think it would be madness if we allowed Mo to leave for free. So then we come down to one or two things, right? We come down to, we have a number for the summer that Liverpool want to sell, or we extend. And as I said, I don't know anything about the extending. I've not heard or read or been told that that's even being discussed. So then I guess it comes down to how much. And I think 100 million. I think 100 million's the number for me, in my head. If you look at what Harry Kane went for, if you look at what Hazard went for with a year to go in his deal, if you look at what other players have gone for with 1 year to go, I think 100 million's the number. Or at least it's the bottom number. Maybe you can scrape a few more million, but 100 million for me is the number. It was Kano. Yes, I seen that. I just seen GC or G Kano. So yes, it was him with the goal. Just seen it there a moment ago on a replay. Decent finish. 200 mil was the offer though. No. There was a conversation, Rory, that there was an offer that was 150 mil, potentially going up to 200 mil. But that was last summer. And as I pointed out at the time, and I'll reiterate it now, the only reason they were willing to pay that extra premium last summer was because the Club World Cup is on in Saudi in December. And they wanted Mohamed Salah to be part of that team to try and win the Club World Cup in Saudi. That's why they're willing to pay that premium. So once that window went, and Mo can't move now till January when that'll be over, the premium went with it. As well as Mohamed Salah's contract is reduced in length at Liverpool. He's now got 18 months to go on his deal. In the summer, he'll have 1 year to go on his deal. So these 200 millions, 150 millions are just pie in the sky numbers. Let's be honest. Nobody is going to make that much money with a year to go. If you were like maybe 25, 26 and you had a year to go and you were that valuable, perhaps. But nobody the wrong side of 30 with a year to go on their deals going 150 million. 120 mark is kind of the upper end of what I think is believable. Mark Ahern there said 120. Did I miss a super chat from somebody? Let me scroll. I did. John Williams said, calling out refs for the good of the sport is right when petulant self-protection. It's wrong. I like what you've done. I like that, John. Yeah, I like that comment, mate. Calling out refs for the good of the sport is right. When it's petulant and self-protection, it's wrong. I think that's a valid point, John. Sorry, I'm only getting to your super chat now as well, John, by the way. I did see it. I just got distracted with what was going on here. I want at least 120, said Rory. See, I've got you down 80 million there in a minute, Rory, already. See what we've done? After watching Doku today, would worry for Trent being exploited when we play City. Look, it's never an easy game. No matter if both have their best 11 on the pitch. Liverpool, Manchester City is a tough game. And at the Etihad, it's, you would say, advantage to City. It's their home turf. I tell you what, though, I'd take a draw right now. If you offered me a draw, I'd take a draw right now for that game at the Etihad. But what disappoints me most about that game is the kickoff time. And I don't mean we're being hard done by. Both teams are in the same boat. I'm not making that moaning excuse. I just mean we're being robbed of a better game because it's on a 12:30. An evening kickoff is what that game should have been. And I get that the Manchester police had to have their say on it and all that stuff, but I just feel like we're being robbed again. And by we, I mean the footballing public are being robbed of a better game, because I think a 5:30 game on Saturday would have been far better a spectacle. What do you think will be the minimum we should take for Mo? I would want 100. Even if it's 85 and some add-ons, I would want 100 million. I think that's the number. For me, that's the number. Do you know what I don't want to happen? I don't want this to be a long, drawn-out process. If he wants to go to Saudi, and if there's a particular Saudi club that want to make a move for Mo, then I feel like for everybody, for the betterment of everybody, get it done early. Let him go settle. Let us go find a replacement. Yeah, I don't want this to be a protracted, dragged out thing over the course of the window that gets resolved in the last week, because it will end up with everybody feeling a bit bitter about it. There'll be some resentment towards the club, towards Saudi, there'll be resentment towards Mo. If it's going to happen, let's do it respectfully, let's do it quickly, and let's, for want of a better phrase, rip off the Band-Aid. Just pleased to engage with you, mate. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Very kind. And it was a very good statement you made on the referee and stuff. I mean, yeah, I can't disagree with what you said there. Not that I want to. So yeah, on Salah, let's have a look at what the poll said. We asked you, no, this is a different freaking poll, Craig. Get your shit together. Should the Newcastle goal have been awarded today? 57% of you guys are saying yes, and 43% are saying no. Would you sell Salah for 110 million? Yes. And you said, who would you bring in? Bowen. And I'd spend the rest of the money elsewhere. Look at our future on the right side of attack. You've got Ben Doak, Trent Cone-Doherty, and Cade Gordon. If even one of those three hit the heights that we think they could do in the next year or two, we've got ourselves a fine player. And, I would suggest that probably two of those lads could push on through. So, that's why I like Bowen. He doesn't give us a young player at 21, 22. You get a player who's Premier League tested, proven, for a reasonable enough fee, and would leave you money to reinvest elsewhere in the squad, and also allow those younger players to show if they're going to make it. That's me. I've always liked the idea of Bowen. Because you need to keep senior players as well. Like Bowen at 26, heading for 27. It's probably at the very upper end of what I'd be comfortable with. But I don't know. Just think he'd be a great fit in our squad. I honestly, I'm baffled by the lack of... look, I understand people have other priorities. If you want higher profile players than Bowen, I get it. But this Bowen isn't good enough stuff. I really think people would be pleasantly surprised if you put Bowen into our team. I think you're not going to get Mo. You're not going to get those numbers. But I think he'd be a very, 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 very good addition to the team. And just like we brought in Jota, there's some players who come in and they might never get the accolades or the adulation that their performances have probably deserved. So for me, I'd be happy with Bowen. I would. Like, Rodrigo's just signed a new deal with Real Madrid, so he's not going anywhere. Leao is, very, very, very expensive. Kvaratskhelia hasn't proved it consistently enough for me. Who else will we be talking about in those positions? I don't know enough about Bakayoko at all. I do like Nico Williams from Bilbao. I think he's a fine player. I just feel like for continuity and almost, not for a risk-free, but it just feels like Bowen would be a good fit for me. Sane, me arse. Nico said Sane 100%. You are incredibly wrong. Really, really wrong. 1, not the right type of personality for our dressing room. 2, he's forever injured. Sane's injury track record is shite. So's Coman's, so's Neto's. And we don't want to be getting rid of a bulletproof player in Mohamed Salah and bringing in an injury-prone Sane or an injury-prone Neto or an injury-prone Coman. I just don't see how that would be a good thing. Adeyemi's a good show as well. I don't know enough about Simons. I haven't watched his progress really to know if Xavi Simons would be anywhere near the level. Got to be honest about that. I'm not sure. Am I saying Bowen over Sane? Yes. 150% yes. Every day of the week, yes. Like, that's just mental. Why would you want Sane? He's proven everywhere he's gone that he's carries a bit of baggage with him. He's never fully fit. And yeah, he's a great player on his day, but we don't need on his day. We need consistently every single day of the week. And I don't see that with Sane. Not now, not at this point. And he's 28 by the time he'd be coming. Saka, well, we ain't getting Saka. Let's be frank about that. We ain't getting Saka. How the fuck is that still up there on top of the league? I brought this image on earlier on. Let me fix that. I already fixed this earlier on. 1 second. I must have deleted the wrong one. So I do have the fix for the top of the league thing here. 1 sec. There we go. Sorry, it's fixed there now. That's on me. Connor gave me the fix to that earlier on, and I must have deleted the wrong one. So bear with me. There you go. I've got the right one up there now. Sorry about that. That's on me. Connor gave me the right one earlier on. Can Szoboszlai play right wing? Yes, he can. I mean, I wouldn't say it would be ideal for us, but yes, Dominic Szoboszlai can play in the right wing. Barella. It's the wrong player in the wrong position, mate, with all due respect. Oshimin. Look, I'd like Oshimin, but we'd have to probably change things around a little bit. Yeah, look, I wouldn't say no. Imagine having Darwin and Oshimin as options. That would be great. I'm trying to be realistic about what I see Liverpool doing. And I just don't see Coman, Gnabry, Sane, Neto. If Pedro Neto didn't have the injury record he has, I think it'd be a good show. Because there's a lot to like about Pedro Neto. And he's got that fire in his belly. And I wouldn't disagree, only for he's had a really bad run of injuries. Olise could be a decent shout as well. Yeah, Olise could be a decent shout. Right, so let's end this poll and we'll get a poll up then to give me 4 concrete, realistic names and we'll get a poll going. And no, give me 3 because I'm putting Bowen in it. So we asked, should the Newcastle goal have been awarded? 55% of you say yes, 45% say no. Right. Adeyemi's a good show. I think Adeyemi's realistic. How do I spell Adeyemi again? Adeyemi. Right, grand. So Adeyemi. What other ones? Kubo. Kubo's a good shout, but the problem with Kubo is Madrid are going to just trigger that €30 million buyback option and sell him on for a profit. So if you're going to buy Kubo, you're probably going to have to deal with Real Madrid on that one. And again, I'm going to reiterate, we don't buy players from Real Madrid. So I can't see. That's the only reason. As a player, Kubo's really exciting. Mitoma, come on now. Mitoma's not good enough to play for Liverpool. He is not. He's not consistent enough. And he's what, 28? Or will be 28? And Mbeumo, I just don't see Mbeumo being a good fit for us. But I'm just trying to find realistic options here for the poll. Doku, well, he's just gone to City, so that's a no. Nico Williams, yes, sorry, Nico Williams. That's a good shout. Right, I need one more name. One more name. So we've got Adeyemi, Bone, and Nico Williams, all realistic ones. Kvaratskhelia it's just a random name because he had a good season. Deep down, I think we all know Kvaratskhelia is not good enough. He's not. He hasn't proved it yet. Who's the other names on this list? Somebody mentioned Rodrigo. He's just signed a new deal with Real Madrid in the last week with a $1 billion buyout clause. Olise. I think Olise is a realistic one. I'm trying to find realistic answers. Okay, there we go. Polls up. 4 names that I think are all very realistic. I'm not saying these are the definitive answers. I just feel like these are the real... The Kvaratskhelia, the Rafa Leaos, it's just not going to happen. Liverpool just won't spend that money. Bowen has Klopp's temperament. It's so important. John, I'm telling you, I think you agree with me. He'd be perfect for us. He would just... Everything that Bowen does is Liverpool-esque in the Klopp system. I think he'd be... I really do think he'd be perfect. Sancho, no thank you. So look, while that poll's up there, I'm going to move on to speak about the latest on Kylian Mbappe. So 2 things to notice today on Kylian Mbappe. So a statement came out from Real Madrid today about Kylian Mbappe. You've probably seen it on Fabrizio Romano's account. It said, breaking, Real Madrid officially released a statement on the Kylian Mbappe deal. He goes on to say, given information in the media about negotiations between the player Kylian Mbappe and our club Real Madrid, we state that this information is categorically false. Negotiations have not taken place with a player who belongs to PSG. So, look, the smart money is of course on Kylian Mbappe going to Real Madrid. Absolutely 100% most likely his next destination. But if for whatever reason that deal stumbles or doesn't happen, and it could be for a whole host of reasons. It could be because Madrid can't commit that amount of money when they have maybe eyes for other players like Mo Salah, or I don't know. They've already got Endrick, Bellingham. They're rebuilding. So if he doesn't go to Real Madrid, and it is a huge if, is Liverpool a realistic option? I think yes. I don't think it's likely, but I'm saying I think it's a realistic option. Think of it this way. If Madrid are out of the picture, then it comes down to a couple of things. Money, of course, but there's no transfer fee, so it would be a signing on bonus and wages and image rights and all that other stuff. And if what Rami Abbasi said is right, that Liverpool, or that Mohamed Salah is making £1 million a week at Liverpool, is there a way Kylian Mbappe could make £2 million a week at Liverpool? I don't know. Maybe with Nike and image rights, and I don't really understand the ins and outs of these things, but if we are to believe what Rami Abbasi said about Mo making £1 million a week, if that's factual, maybe they double that for Mbappe. I don't know. Would the player come? I think so. If Real Madrid wasn't an option. I think the Premier League would be the best fit for him. I don't see, despite whatever amount of money Saudi Arabia throws at him, I cannot see him moving to the Saudi Pro League. He's too young. He wants Ballon d'Ors. So if it's not Real Madrid, who is it going to be? Manchester City will hopefully be relegated down through the divisions at that point. Manchester United are a bit of a laughing stock at the minute. Chelsea? I just think if it isn't Madrid, we really should be in that conversation, because as has been reported far and wide over the last few weeks, Liverpool have been in contact with Kylian Mbappe and have kind of kept that line or channel of communication open for 6 years now. When he signed for PSG from Monaco, just before that, John W. Henry flew him around and tried to convince him to come to Liverpool. Of course, I'm not an idiot. I know this is highly unrealistic, but he's got to play somewhere. And if it isn't going to be in Spain, and if it isn't going to be staying with PSG, where else is he going to go? The Italian clubs simply don't have the money. They wouldn't be able to get anywhere near paying Kylian Mbappe's wages. The Italian league isn't as good as it was. Do you know what I mean? So by process of elimination, you'd have to say we're in the conversation. Newcastle, perhaps, if the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia wanted to make a big statement and Newcastle re-qualified for the Champions League again for another year, maybe. I mean, could I see it will be a huge way to announce themselves in Newcastle, yes. Could happen. Could be a possibility. I don't know. Yeah. Valverde been linked with us before. He's class. Look, I would love Freddy Valverde. Klopp's a fan. I'm a fan. I think most of us Liverpool fans respect and admire Valverde as a footballer. He's got that word Jurgen Klopp loves as well. Versatile. Can play in the right side of attack. Can play in midfield. Look, if that was an option, I'd be a very, very happy man if Valverde became a Liverpool player. Yeah, but would he go to Newcastle in the Europa? That's what I said. If they qualified again for the Champions League, Newcastle, this season, and remember, 5th place in the Premier League probably gets you into the Champions League. I don't know. I mean, Newcastle are probably the wild card in that conversation, all right. Because if the PIF decide they really want to just make a bleeding statement, we know they've got the money to do it. Why isn't Sane an option on the poll? Because we all have brain cells and understand that Sane is injury prone as fuck. Probably had his best days. And as reported to have attitude issues. So that's why. I'm baffled at the Sane shouts from anybody. Just look at his career and then contrast that to Mohamed Salah and Mohamed Salah's availability and fitness and reliability. We've just got rid of loads of injury-prone players, and Thiago's in the last year of his contract, another one that's had a horrible injury run. We've moved on Chamberlain. So I don't want another one through the door. Elise, again, yeah. Elise I can see as an option. You know, he rebuffed the interest of Manchester City, signed a new deal with Palace. Elise could be a very decent show. He needs to continue to progress this season, though. I don't want any City player. I was trying to keep the City talk out of it, Rana, but yeah, that's another reason why I don't want Sane. Why not Diaby from Aston Villa? Because you won't buy him off Aston Villa. And I don't mean they won't sell. Look into who owns Aston Villa. They're not a club that's looking to be a flash in the pan. Aston Villa want to be a serious player. Aston Villa are trying to build a Champions League challenging, or by qualifying I mean team, and they're going about it in the right way. So there's no way that Aston Villa are going to sell Diaby anytime soon, because they're building something there. And you've got to respect that as well. What do I think of Coman? I like Kingsley Coman, but two things about him. He's injury prone as well. And the first thing to go is pace. And he solely relies on pace, as does Sane. And when those things start to go, are they clever enough footballers to reinvent themselves? Maybe a bit like Mo or Cristiano or Leo. He says Leo like he's his bestie. Probably not, in my opinion. Neto wouldn't be an issue for me, other than the injuries. He's had a really bad 2 years with injuries, Pedro Neto, and I think he's injured now, if I'm not mistaken. But as a player, there's a lot to like about Pedro Neto. He's got that fire in his belly. Obviously, we know Portuguese footballers quite well because of Pep Linder's time there, working as a coach. Mo is not leaving. Yeah, but he is though, mate. So, you can bury your head in the fucking sand all you want. But if he's not leaving, where's the contract extension? That's right. There hasn't been any talk of one. And I've looked into that with journalists and other people. Nobody has any indication that Liverpool are offering him a new deal or that those conversations are ongoing. So you can't just bury your head in the sand and go, he's not going, he's not going, he's not going, he's not going. Somebody has to be an adult in the room and step up and have this serious conversation. He's got a year to go at the end of the season. You can't let him go for nothing. You have to sell him. If we all want him to get a new deal. All of us. I don't know anybody in this chat here that doesn't want that to be the first option. But it doesn't look likely, unfortunately. So far, with 600 votes, we asked you for a Salah replacement from these lists. Adeyemi, Bowen, Nico Williams or Elise. It's 41% so far with Bowen and at the front of the queue. I said he didn't want to leave. Klopp said it. No, that isn't what Klopp said. Again, if you're going to quote our manager, get it right. He said there's been no new offers in, and Mo has made no inclination that he wants to move in the January window. So if you want to talk about our manager and quote him, get it right. Who's Guilherme? I'll get to him in a minute, Finn. Thank you for reminding me, buddy. I will get to him now in a second. So, another article that came out today from the Express said that Andre Trinidad is simply a decoy. So their theory is that Liverpool have indeed used scouting missions to Brazil, but they haven't been looking at Andre Trinidad. They haven't been looking at Ezequiel Fernandez. The Express believe that Liverpool have been looking at 17-year-old attacking midfielder from Palmeiras, Luis Guilherme, who recently signed a new contract that has a £48 million release clause in it. Now, I have seen in the last week Liverpool and a number of other clubs be linked as looking at this kid, and I can't tell you if we really want him or not. I don't know that information, but I don't really believe that Andre is a decoy. I think whatever about this dude, Luis Guilherme, maybe we are interested, I don't know, but we are very, very much interested in Andre. Very, very much. I think even the commentators, somebody mentioned to me, because I haven't been listening to the audio, that a lot of people believe maybe that there's already, a sort of broad-ranging agreement there ready for him to come to Liverpool. And I hope that's the case. But yeah, that dude, Luis Guilherme, do we need an attacking midfielder? See, that's what gets me about this article. They say Liverpool are interested in him, but where do we fit in another attacking midfielder? We've got Alexis McAllister, who at the moment is a 6, but will probably go back to that position. We've got Dominic Szoboszlai, we've got Curtis Jones, we've got Harvey Elliott, we've got Ryan Gravenberch, we've got Stefan Bajcetic, who can play in a 6 or an 8. I don't know where the space in the squad would be for another attacking midfielder. So we can't scout more than one Brazilian player. The fuck did I say we didn't or can't, mate? Did I at any point in this conversation say Liverpool haven't looked at him? Did I at any point in this conversation say Liverpool can't scout more than one player? If you want to be a prick, I'm going to call you out for it. I said I don't believe the decoy was true and that I very much believe Liverpool were scouting Andre. Never did I say that they couldn't look at more than one player. So again, stop trying to be a smart arse and listen to the words come out of my face. I know what I've said. Fuck me. Have we got any quota spots available to sign Andre? Yes, one. And also, Thiago, at the end of the season, if he moves on, that'll free up another one. And if Matip moves on, that'll free up another one. So, we'll also need to bring in reinforcements, of course. Like, if Thiago moves on, yeah, there's a space. If Matip moves on, look, we need a centre-back. And by all accounts, we'd be bringing in an overseas centre-back. So, yeah, I think we can get Andre in. Why am I watching the final? I am. It's on here in the background, mate. If I could spin my camera around, buddy, you'd see that I've got the Copa Libertadores on here just beside me. Isn't Andre a bit short for the DM position? Aerially is not his best trait, mate. But sure, look at Javier Mascherano and N'Golo Kante. None of those guys were huge, tall specimens, but they still played the role very well. But look, that is definitely probably the weakest attribute that Andre would have. How about Mbappe? So, Daniel, on Mbappe, we talked about this a little bit earlier on in the stream. It's almost like a process of elimination. If he doesn't go to Madrid, he has to go somewhere, right? And we all agree Madrid's probably the most likely place. Madrid have put out a statement today saying that there's no agreement in place between them and Kylian Mbappe and that they wouldn't do that for a PSG player or any other player. So we all think that's where he goes. The smart money is on Kylian Mbappe becoming a Real Madrid player. But if he doesn't become a Real Madrid player, he's got to go somewhere. And where else could he go? Wouldn't be Italy. I don't think they've the money. Hopefully Manchester City are relegated out of the Premier League for cheating, so not them. Newcastle could be a wild card. But as I've said, Liverpool have spoke for 6 years with his entourage, for want of a better phrase. And as unlikely as it is, if ever there was a time that is potentially doable for us, it's on a free transfer. And we wouldn't have to pay a transfer fee. So, unlikely, but not impossible. Makaleli short as well. Yeah, I was trying to think of his name, LFC Spectre. I won't lie to you, mate. I was like, Malouda. And then I was going through and I couldn't think of Makaleli's name. But you're right. He's not a huge specimen or wasn't a big defensive midfielder either. Abisa, you've put the same comment in. And I've literally spent 5 minutes answering it. So, yeah, I mean, dude, I'm trying here. I've answered your question and you've written it in again. So for that, you're going to have a little time out, buddy. Maybe he stays at PSG. Maybe. I doubt it. With the bad blood that's there at the minute. Yeah, I don't see him staying at PSG. But look, I guess if they want to reverse another truckload of cash up to the Mbappe residence, you never know. A few other bits and pieces we've got to go through, by the way, because I did mention we had some other news. On Lucho's dad. So, the ELN planned the kidnap of Lucho's father for 5 months, according to a report coming out today. They said that they studied his routines and chose the election weekend for the crime. Obviously, because people be out and about, lots going on, and an impactful weekend. Now, I don't know what the phraseology to use here is, but let's just say commanders, is that the right word? Those higher up in the organisation, the ELN, the militia or whatever they are, did say that Luis Diaz's father would be released in the coming hours. Now that hasn't come to fruition. So as of right now, of course, everybody's hopeful and waiting for a positive outcome. But that's the latest that I've seen on where we are. I don't know. I just, like you all, I just hope he's reunited with his family. With regards to Lucho, tomorrow Klopp said that he's going to leave it up to the player to decide if he wants to play or not. And first my initial instinct was, nah, you couldn't play, surely. But maybe he wants that distraction. Maybe he just wants to try and switch off for those 2 hours and play a game of football, and I can get that as well. Is Federico Chiesa a shout? You know what? I'm going to be honest and say I have not followed Juventus and Chiesa this season, so I don't know what type of form he's in. I don't know how sharp he's looking. I'm hoping maybe the chat can give me some answers on that, because I've always liked Federico Chiesa, but I always weirdly thought of him more as a potential for when Bobby moved on and we brought in Gakpo, so I don't know. Bench is better, mental health's important for Lucho. Absolutely, but he's in and around the club anyway. He's in and around his teammates. He's been training. So, look, it is what, in these situations, we all just want to be supportive of Lucho, obviously. And I know that his brother played in a second division Colombia game because he just wanted to do something. He just wanted to play football. So I totally understand this in every angle. If Lucho wants to play, I understand that. If Klopp wants to protect him, of course I understand that as well. It's just one of those, there's no playbook for this, different people, different mindsets cope and deal with situations in different ways. So whatever works best for Lucho, we're right behind him. Did they give any reason for kidnapping his father? Not that I'm aware of, Alex. Yeah, I mean, I can't even contemplate what that must be like. When do you think Salah will leave? When do you think Salah will leave? I think at the end of the season. I would say 95% there's no chance he leaves in January. I don't even think Liverpool will entertain it in January. It doesn't matter about the numbers. They'll just rebuff anything. And rightly so, because we have trophies to be trying to win. So they'd be damn right not to even listen to an offer for Salah in January. Andre looks class here at the minute, said Whitehammer. I know he's good, isn't he? Fluminense 1-0 up there with just under half an hour to go in the Copa Libertadores final. Whitehammer, me and you don't agree on a lot of stuff, but sometimes we respectfully disagree. But yeah, I'm glad we're in the same boat here for Andre. He looks like a quality player, and I very much hope we get him in January. How much for Andre? I would say I've seen 30 and 40 million mentioned, so I don't know which one of those numbers could be true, but I think at either of those valuations, 30, 40 million, I think it would still be very good value for money. I will cry if Mo leaves. Look, none of us want Mo to leave, but we can't wish a new contract offer for him, No matter what you or I or any other Liverpool channel or podcast or fans say, ultimately, if there's no contract offer coming forward from John W. Henry and FSG, then it's just a straight decision of sell him in the summer or leave and go for free the year after. And you can't make a sensible business decision to say leave and go for free. So until we see a contract offer put to him, you have to, I think, look towards the next summer as the likely destination or likely time frame for him to leave. How is the other guy in Boca Juniors? I haven't really paid much attention to Ezequiel Fernandez because I firmly believe our focus is on Andre. So my focus today has been on looking at him as well. Is that him gone for a little tumble there in the middle of the pitch? It is as well. Go on, Andre. He's wearing number 7. He's James Milner. Oh, he's up. He's a bit feisty here. He's giving it the whole let me at him, let me at him. Don't hold me back. You got that dog in him. Yes, he does, dude. Yes, he does. And I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Cavani gets a yellow. Jack or Dak said, "Love your streams. Help me through a lot. Thank you. I hope you're okay. Whatever you've gone through, mate. I hope you're okay. And I'll never not love hearing things like that. But that the community and the channel has helped you through a difficult time. That means a lot to all of us, mate. So thank you very much for reaching out and letting us know. And as I said, I hope things are a bit better for you now." Excuse me. Imagine if Madrid steals Andre. Stop it now. They don't need him. They've got Camavinga and Tchouaméni. You know what I mean? For the love of God, they don't need another defensive midfielder. Thoughts on the Newcastle goal and Arteta reaction? So, right. The goal, I think the ball was in play. I think it's been shown by beIN Sport that the ball did not go out of play. So after that, I think it's a grand goal. You know, if they can't say it's offside, and I don't think it was a foul, I'm not buying into the foul part, then I think the goal stands and the on-field decision stands. So from that perspective, I've no issues with the goal being given. Arteta's reaction, it's an emotional game. I understand it. My own manager, Jurgen Klopp, has spoken out many times and has been punished. So I understand why Arteta feels emotional. And I hate that when you speak out emotionally in football, you get punished. Because if you stick a camera in front of somebody's face at the end of a game that's heightened emotions, the odds are, you know, every now and again, an emotional manager or an emotional player is going to say something. So I don't like to see managers punished in these scenarios, but looking off what's happened to other managers, I'd be flabbergasted if we don't see a fine and a suspension for Arteta. Andre is more aggressive and skillful than Declan Rice, said John Williams. And what are your top 3 matches from last year? Oh, God. Mate, so there's one thing you should know about me. My memory of time frames and what happened is shite. Shite. Like, terrible. So, favourites from last year. Oh, God. Obviously beating United. That's top of the pile. Beating Newcastle at home in that 2-1 where they were wasting time. That was very satisfying as well last season. And yeah, I probably agree with that 9-0 Bournemouth game as well. So yeah, the 9-0 against Bournemouth, the 7-0 against United, and probably that goal, the game against Newcastle where at home where we beat them 2-1, I think it was, with that with the time wasting and stuff. Yeah, that was very satisfying. Dave O'Cop says Andre has an agreement in place with the club. Caption his tweet with breaking. Good. I mean, that would make me happy. I hope Dave's right. There's been lots of chatter, to be fair, over the past day or two. Some of it stemmed from that Blag ITK account that the Echo quoted in one of their pieces. But look, do I think that it's feasible and possible? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'd be flabbergasted if Liverpool don't sign Andre when the January window opens. Yeah, so I hope Dave has more information than I do to hand, but I certainly think he's on the right track. Uh, Abdisa in the chat said the commentator is talking about Andre moving to Liverpool very likely. Good. See, it makes sense though when you think about it. Like, we were respectful in the summer when they wanted to keep him, and he wanted to stay loyal to try and win the Copa Libertadores, and we backed off. So it makes sense that the natural progression there is to hopefully see him finish this and lift the trophy, finish the Brazilian season, which ends in December, and then fingers crossed. He has a little holiday and there's an agreement in place that sees him come to Liverpool in January. That's very, very probable. Oh, we just had a strike from distance there as well. That was saved by the Boca keeper. Do Spurs drop points against Chelsea on Monday? Is it at the Bridge? Let me just check that. Is it at Stamford Bridge? Can't remember. I'm doing that game on top of the league. No, it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I can't see Spurs losing it at home. I can see a draw. Chelsea have issues putting the ball in the back of the net. So a draw, I'd probably go for a draw in that game. And look, if they drop any points, and with Arsenal dropping points, we have to capitalise. Liverpool have to get the win tomorrow. When we play Luton Town, and obviously we kick off at 4:30, so I'll be live at 3:30 for a watch along. What about Marlon? Not for me. There's a lot to like about Marlon, but I don't think he has the end product enough, or would have it for me. So look, we'll end this poll that we put up earlier on, and Bowen was your choice, by the way, of the 4 options I gave you. So Bowen first with 38%, Adeyemi with 25%, Nico Williams 21%, Elise with 14%. What do I think about Miguel Almiron? He's a nice footballer to watch. I think he's a good fit at Newcastle, so I don't expect him to leave there. We should beat Luton comfortably. I agree. Adamus, we should. I think I went with a 4-1 prediction for a game. Make sure to put your clock 1 hour behind. What? What? I'm very confused what you're talking about. Clocks were last week, dude. Could be a massive game when we meet City. Could be. But, we can't look too far ahead yet. We have Luton tomorrow, Toulouse away on Thursday, and then Brentford in the Premier League before the international break. So, got to focus on those fixtures before we look ahead to the City game. Oh, in America, it's tonight, is it? Daylight savings time in America today. Apologies, I didn't know that. So, yes, America. Remember to change your clocks. Yeah, so I had that glorious little week where the NFL was an hour closer to me. So I only had a 4-hour changeover. But, so yeah, fair play. If it's, oh, here we go. 1-1, is it, in the Libertadores? Hang on. Apparently there's a goal coming up. Let's see this one. Yes, edge of the box strike. That's weak keeping. That's weak goalkeeping, lads. Shouldn't be beaten from there. But it is 1-1, yes. Boca Juniors have just equalised. Yeah, he shouldn't be getting beaten from there. Am I a Jacksonville Jaguars fan? I am not. I don't have an NFL team that I really profess to support, mate. Hey Craig, huge fan of yours. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Kieran. I appreciate that, mate. How would you feel if Salah went to Saudi and Liverpool signed Mbappe? I mean, it would be pretty acceptable. I want Mo to stay, Kieran, but if he does move on, I mean, I wouldn't say no if Mbappe walked through the door. Oh, it's a good finish. It's a good finish, but I don't know what the keeper was at. What are they looking at? a possible offside here? Huh? What? I don't want... Explain this to me? What? The fuck are they looking at? Huh? Goal given. I don't know what they were looking at there. That was ridiculous offside check, lads. Ridiculous offside check. Anyway, it's 1-1 with 18 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Do you think Alonso's already made Klopp replacement? You'd have to see him continue to progress. Obviously, he's doing really well this season with Bayer Leverkusen, top of the Bundesliga at the moment. Well, actually, after Bayern's win today, I think Bayern go back top, but they're up there fighting for the title. So he's going in the right direction. It'd be interesting to see if when Ancelotti leaves Real Madrid, if they push to try and get him there. But sure, let's wait and see. Rachel, thank you for gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships, my friend. Appreciate you. Yeah, he could end up going to Madrid, absolutely. But if he doesn't, and Madrid bring in a new coach, then I guess maybe when Klopp moves on. Right, I'm going to go and spend some time with the missus because it's been a long day. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys, and I will see you tomorrow, 3:30 for the watch along. So yeah, appreciate you joining us tonight. If you're coming in, you've missed the start of the stream or whatever, there's a video that covers everything we spoke about, an 8-minute video that went up earlier on. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, 3:30. Enjoy the rest of the Copa Libertadores, and I'll chat with you soon. Much love.